Okay, guys. Right. Can you try to think in a simple definition, not the book definition? Simple definition for corrosion. What do you think is a good definition for corrosion?
Accumulated oxidation.
It's accumulation of oxidation. Oxidation is when the oxygen attacks a metal that is exposed to the environment. You put a piece of aluminum or copper outside, what happens in 3 days if you see the aluminum? It's covered with a little amount of white powder, aluminum. If it's copper,
Is that the green?
green powder. If it's iron,
Yellow.
brown, yellow powder. Yeah? What is that powder?
It's the metal going back.
It's
to its
oxide of
original.
metal, oxide of iron, oxide of aluminum, oxide of. No? It's oxide. Corrosion, this is in 2 days. What happens if you come back? Those are the powders, no? The oxides. It's powders. Oh, the oxides are used for millions of applications. Right now we are going to talk about ceramics and other things where those powders are used. But look at this. Pay attention to me. Okay. What happens if I come back, I put a piece of iron outside and I check 2 days later, and in 2 days later I see a lot of oxidation. That's okay. What happens in 5 weeks if I come back in 5 weeks? Is a lot of powder and pieces of metal that you can remove with your fingers, no? What happens if you come back in 1 year? Oh, it's practically eroded completely. This is corrosion. At the beginning is oxidation, the first 2 days. But in 5 days, a little corrosion. In 2 weeks, corrosion. In 5 weeks, eroded. You know? Corrosion is the accumulation of oxidation.
When we were in diesel, that white powder that's in the screw holes, that's oxidation.
Yeah.
Why does it happen here if it's not close to salt water?
Because it's in the air.
Oh, so it
It's
just
in the
happens.
environment.
Because you're in Florida.
So much moisture.
We live in a marine environment.
Yeah.
We live in a marine
You're
environment.
still getting that salt in the air.
We live in a marine environment. This is a marine environment because we are 5 blocks from the water. This is marine environment. A lot of salt in the environment. This is an area highly corrosive.
That's like
On the windows of your car, you get that salt film.
Yeah.
Even though you're not.
Yeah, we don't get that in North Carolina.
No, it's
No,
different.
I'm noticing it now.
A lot of things you don't get in North Carolina.
No.
Okay, so like on my jet boat, I have a ski pole. You know, you twist it and it comes out. We haven't used it in so long, and it's in between salt water,
Oh,
water
yeah,
when it
yeah,
rains,
yeah.
the heat
Yeah.
of the engines.
For
it's
that-
literally flaking
Yeah,
apart, literally
yeah.
shreds, and it's like long shreds, about that big. They're just peeling off.
For that reason, the principal enemy of the boat is the customer. Use the customer. Use the boat. If you use the boat is great. If you don't use the boat, I prefer a boat that the people say, no, it's a charter boat. I prefer that boat instead of a boat that never use it.
Yeah, I never use it.
Well, now they're never
It's like
gonna
a
use
car.
it for gas.
The more you use it, the better it is.
Yeah.
The less problems you have.
Okay? All right.
I don't know about that. There's something you just get on it.
Okay, guys, we are going to return
Every time.
before we start with the process of oxidation. The oxidation in aluminum, oxidation in copper, oxidation in iron. Danny, this is oxidation in aluminum. You see the
Turn that one light off.
that's oxidation in aluminum. It's typical, no? And what about those white spots? What is that?
Corrosion.
Oxide of aluminum. If you try with your finger, it's powder, it's white powder, oxide of aluminum. In copper, Danny.
Copper.
Okay, but now is there
It
any
turns
way
green, right?
Excuse me.
to seal the aluminum to prevent or
Oh
slow
yeah,
that down?
right now we are going to start to explain the process to stop, the process to prevent, the process to investigate where in this area of my boat I have a lot of pieces corroded, and in this side no, in the same boat, in the same water, half of the boat is corroded and the other half no, we are going to study why and the process to identify what happened. Normally it's in the wiring.
No, but I
It's
mean,
copper.
other than like bonding systems, there's
Yeah,
no
the
thing
wiring.
that you can.
It's the wiring. The bonding is not good and you have leaks of current. That's the enemy. Leaks of
I think
current.
You know, you remember the bonding goes on, the zinc goes on the outside. What happens is this, let me just show you real quick, 'cause I have it right
I think you're
here.
asking, is there like a spray?
Here's your bonding system.
Look, in this moment, that zinc is working.
Yes.
Yes.
It's working
Really?
No, it's.
right now.
Well, I mean,
Well, it did work.
It
was
works.
It did work.
correct.
Yes.
Correct.
It did
Was
work.
working good,
Uh-huh.
but right now is nothing. This is not zinc. This is pure oxide of zinc. It's completely eroded. You don't have zinc.
It's not doing anything.
No, I have a little zinc. You have a little zinc? No, this is powder. This is powder. This
You
is
can literally grab it and crumble it with your hands. That's how bad it is.
the zinc disappeared 2 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. In this moment, it's oxide. You are not protecting your boat. That zinc works properly, but right now it's doing
And now your bonding system is not working.
immediately.
My question is more like, is there a sealant that you
Like
can
it's-
put on the aluminum like you do on the wood to prevent it from like rotting out? Is there any?
What, for
sealant?
the zincs?
No,
For aluminum.
on the,
Oh, for the
like
aluminum?
on the metals. Is there any?
Yes,
Treat-
like
treat.
if you had like aluminum platform on a bracket on a boat, there's a paint that's called Trilux, and that coats it. That's all it does. And the platform should have sacrificial zincs in them anyways. But Trilux is what you want to use.
And the sacrificial anode.
That's what that's what we use on lower units, stern
like
drive,
a zinc
smooth
oxide.
platform, bright trim tabs.
Is
Like
it
a
called
zinc oxide?
Tri-Lux?
No.
It's a special paint that's just for metal. Because
This is
if
the-
you took,
this is
if
the
you
last
took
chapter.
regular bottom paint and you painted metal, now you just intensified the corrosion by more because it has copper in it.
Yeah, because you see a lot of people like not ceramic coating, what's it called? Powder coating their tops and stuff like that. Would that help prevent or?
Powder coating,
Yeah,
yeah,
powder
what it does
coating
is just
is good.
seals the outside.
Like a bed line.
Let me tell you about powder coating, okay?
But this is the last chapter of the-
I'm not a big fan of powder coating. I'm going to explain to you why. Because powder coating, once there's an entry point, it becomes like cancer. It just starts spreading and it looks like crap. So I like the regular raw aluminum that's anodized. Because what happens is people don't realize, people who are married and they have a ring, they're going fast and they're holding on, they just made a little scratch. It doesn't happen right away, but it takes time. And then what happens, water seeps in there, and as the water seeps, it'll start spreading. You've seen powder coating it's got corrosion in it, it's bubbling. It's really called fill form corrosion. What happens is it starts going on the inside.
We are going to advance it slow because it's a lot of topics.
Huh?
The wheel well on my truck,
Yeah.
on the bed, right on the
Spitting,
bed.
right?
It's already got a little rust crack and it's spitting.
For that reason, I can offer $500 for it.
That's what I say for the bed.
Explica el copper, entonces tengo el iron.
Ah, copper.
This is the copper with corrosion.
This is copper, you see? What is the color of the oxide?
Green.
Green. It's oxide of, the copper produce 2 oxides depending of the isotopes. You remember? With 1 or 3 in the last orbit. With 1 is cuprous oxide. With 3, cupric oxide. The cuprous oxide with water produce cuprous acid and the other cupric acid. But now we are going to talk about that. All right. And this is iron.
That's iron.
Brown powder.
That's under the bottom of the bed of my truck.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the problem. For that
Problem.
reason, $500 is good for you.
That's what I took for the bed though.
Bed line.
Yeah.
It happened, the funny thing was the guy that had it,
Yeah.
that had the bed
The
before.
problem is when the chassis have that problem.
Oh yeah, no, the chassis clean, the bed has it because the guy would use it, the same thing I'm doing. He would drop boats in the water, he'll do it, but he showed me a picture and the bed's literally in the water at the marina in Honolulu.
Yeah, that's highly recommended.
And it's stupid. Okay,
Okay, so
great,
go back
thank
to the
you.
wheel.
Turn off the camera. Bob. Okay, guys, we are going, can you put the periodic table?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do right now.
Okay, guys, yesterday we was talking about how aggressive is the oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, and phosphorus. Those elements in that corner are aggressive, and they destroy everything because the level of energy, no? In comparison with the rest of the elements, the rest of the metals. You remember that this is the division, no? You remember that? metals and non-metals. Non-metals. The most common non-metals are nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, bromine, chlorine, oxide, and fluorine. Those are the most common non-metals with high level of energy. But today we are going to be concentrated in the oxidation process. The oxidation process. And we are going to verify what happens if the oxygen attack metals and if the oxygen attack non-metals. What happened? What is the situation? In both cases, turn off the cell phone. In both cases, the oxygen produce oxide of metals or oxide of non-metals. And we are going to check what happened. What is the difference between those oxides? Look at this. What happened? What happened if the oxygen attack non-metals? Examples. Oxygen plus sulfur. Oxygen plus phosphorus. Oxygen plus carbon. What is the name of those oxides? Oxygen plus non-metals.
I don't understand the question.
Oh, acidic.
Acidic oxide. Acidic oxide. Why? Let me explain why. Oxygen plus sulfur produce plus water produce sulfuric acid. Oxygen plus phosphorus plus water produce phosphoric acid or phosphorus acid. Oxygen plus carbon plus water, carbonic acid. Yeah, a lot of acids. Those oxides are acidic oxide. Why acidic? Because when they are combined with water, they create acids. Good? It's clear the explanation? For that reason, those oxides are called acidic oxides. Oh, my friends, where are produced normally those acids? Those acidic oxides. Where you found that oxide of sulfur, oxide of phosphorus, oxide of nitrogen, oxide of carbon in your boat, in your car?
An exhaust.
In the exhaust pipe. A lot of gases. For that reason, the people say the environment is destroyed because the nitrous oxide, and the people say nitrox like this. Sulfur oxide, because depending on the isotope, you have sulfurous, sulfuric, persulfuric. Yesterday I explained that. And carbonous oxide and phosphorus oxides. Those oxides are coming from incomplete combustion in engines. What is the meaning of incomplete combustion? In what case I have complete combustion? In what cases I have incomplete combustion?
I mean, when you have...
Pay attention. What happens if the car is new from the dealer? What happened with the combustion during the first 2 months, 3 months?
Complete.
It's complete. It's perfect. What happened a year later? A little gases. Start incomplete. Why? Because you need to know. You need to replace the spark plugs, the air filter, you need to check the timing. If you check periodically the tune-up, you have complete combustion and your gases are acceptable. For that reason, in states like California and other states, they check, hey, my friend, your certification. Your certification. Your car have too much nitrous. Oh, a lot of carbon oxides. No pass. No label, no ticket.
That's when they do the vehicle inspection.
Right, they
Yeah.
put the little probe of the
They connect on the exhaust, the sensor, and the sensor say, oh, woohoo, high level of phosphorus, high level of those enemies. What happened with those oxides? If you have excessive, for example, sulfur oxide in the exhaust pipe of the diesel especially. Okay, the sulfur oxide, what happened immediately? Right now, your car is producing high level of sulfur. Those sulfur oxide goes outside, and what happened? In this moment, right now,
Also isolate the
it's mixed
oxygen.
with the humidity. How much is the humidity today? 92%, no? 92%. If the gases goes out, papi, follow me, and mix it with the humidity in the environment, I have what in the environment?
Sulfur.
Acid, sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid, carbonic acid. What happened with those acids in the environment? Corrode everything, destroyed the environment. This is good? Okay, look at this. What happened in the environment is a little amount of acid because it's the oxide mixed with the humidity of the environment. That small amount of acid is called rain acid. Rain acid. That's the rain acid. For that reason, you see the paint of your car with a yellow film that if you polish, you remove that yellow film. You remove that concentration of yellow of rain acid in the surface. It's clear?
Oh, like
This is in the environment. Now pay attention. In my boat, I have the exhaust manifold, Steve, and the heat exchanger on top. The raw water of the heat exchanger with the gases of the exhaust manifold are mixed in the elbow of the exhaust. You remember? In that point, the gases with too much sulfur oxide, copper oxide, phosphorus oxide are mixed with salt water flow. How much acid you have in the real acid you have in the exhaust pipe in your boat?
A lot.
A lot. And that acid entered directly in the water on the sea. How many boats are on the water right now? How many boats the tune-up is Mickey Mouse in this moment? How many tons of gallons of acid are in the ocean right now?
Half of it's in my shop.
Except for the Mexican truck of Danny.
Oh, that truck, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was.
That's a Cuban parade truck right there.
My wife calls it the Mexican truck.
Mexican truck.
That's a Cuban parade truck. When he finished
Doesn't work,
fixing
it's actually
it,
clean
he'll
now.
go inside
The
the
Cuban
Cuban
parade.
parade. When you're done fixing it, put it in
Right.
a Cuban parade truck.
You enjoy the explanation about the acids?
Yeah.
And this is real. It's not because I love it.
King
No,
John with
no,
some
no.
rims, everybody
That's
be out
real.
here like 30 grand for that.
Can't wait till speed.
Okay,
Powerpuff Pink.
It's not gonna be Mexican.
it's incredible, but the amount of papi, the amount of acid that you throw to the water every day on the ocean is you can't imagine. It's a lot because the incomplete combustion of the engines.